Welcome to the Tyranny of Hope, where we bridge the gap between therapy and everyday life. I'm West Breedlove, your host, and this podcast is all about putting therapeutic concepts into practice. Each episode, we'll tackle real-world challenges, from setting boundaries to healing trauma, from mending relationships to overcoming addictions. You'll hear from counselors and learn practical strategies you can use right away. So whether you're in therapy or just focused on personal growth, you're in the right place. Let's turn hope into action and make real progress together. This is the Tyranny of Hope. Welcome to the Tyranny of Hope. I'm West Breedlove, and today we're going to dive into a common yet challenging topic: mismatched sex drives in marriage. It's something that many couples face at some point, and we're here to talk about how to approach it with empathy, patience, and understanding. Mismatched sex drives can feel like an unspoken struggle. In many marriages, it's a topic that's difficult to bring up without fear of rejection or misunderstanding. As Dr. Gottman says, a lasting relationship results from a couple's ability to resolve the conflicts that are inevitable in any relationship. Mismatched sex drives are part of these conflicts, but they don't have to be divisive. Gottman reminds us that healthy couples work on resolving conflicts rather than avoiding them or letting them build up into resentment. So what's the impact of mismatched sex drives? The higher desire partner may feel rejected or inadequate when their partner doesn't reciprocate their level of interest. And this can lead to feelings of isolation or even questioning the stability of the relationship, whereas the lower desire partner may feel guilty or overwhelmed, worrying that they're just letting their spouse down. And this can create, a cycle of avoidance or pressure, which only widens the gap between the partners. Dr. Esther Perel offers insight here. She says, eroticism thrives in the space between self and other. She points out that desire is often bridging separateness, not necessarily matching levels of libido. It's important to remember that partners don't have to be perfectly aligned, but they do need to feel mutually respectful and understanding. So why do sex drives differ in the first place? It is essential to recognize that libido is influenced by various factors. Emotional connection. A lack of emotional intimacy can definitely impact physical desire. Dr. Sue Johnson says, in essence, it's not about how much sex we have, but how we connect emotionally. Emotional security drives sexual intimacy. And then there's physical and health changes. Hormones, health conditions, medications, age, all of these can influence sex drive. Being patient with these changes and adjusting to new rhythms can help both partners feel more at ease. So now let's just go into some practical strategies to address mismatched sex drives. 1, open communication. This is where it starts. Dr. Julie Gottman refers to this as creating an emotional bank account. Talking about your feelings and needs, both physically and emotionally, builds trust and vulnerability, and which makes intimacy more accessible. So what are some action steps? Schedule a check-in once a week where you both are going to share your feelings, your wants, and any fears. And this is your time to be vulnerable without fear. Use I feel statements rather than you statements. For example, I feel closer to you when we're intimate. Or, instead of you never want to be intimate. Other helpful phrases might include, I feel connected to you when we're physically close. Can we explore ways to make both of us comfortable? Or I want us both to feel valued and seen. Let's discuss what feels good and meaningful to both of us. Secondly, you might want to redefine intimacy. Physical intimacy doesn't have to mean intercourse. Expanding the definition of intimacy to include touch, affection, and quality time creates new possibilities. Dr. Patrick Carnes notes that true intimacy requires honesty, openness, and vulnerability. Sometimes lowering expectations around performance and raising closeness and connection helps reduce pressure, enabling partners to find new ways to bond. So, what are some action steps around this? Create a daily intimacy routine. This might just be a morning hug or saying something appreciative to each other every night. It could be, practicing physical closeness without the expectation of sex. This can include massage, non-sexual touch, cuddling, which often helps bridge the gap and create emotional and physical comfort. Thirdly, set realistic expectations. Remember that your sex life will ebb and flow. Dr. Scott Stanley advises it's the commitment to stay in the game and to keep trying that often matters most. Accepting that different seasons bring different levels of desire allows couples to meet each other with grace rather than frustration. It's common, y'all, for stress, fatigue, health issues to affect your libido, and prioritizing personal wellness can lead to a more consistent desire in both partners. So, what are some action steps here? Set a bedtime routine. Prioritize your rest. Try sleeping and waking at similar times to reduce stress and improve energy levels. Exercise, relaxation activities. Physical activity can elevate your mood and your libido. Even a daily 10-minute walk can, improve connection and energy. Fourth, seek mutual solutions and understand each other's desire style. Work together on finding ways to connect intimately that feel safe for both partners. Dr. Emily Nagoski, author of Come As You Are, describes two main types of desire: spontaneous and responsive. A spontaneous desire arises naturally, while responsive desire may need closeness or affection first. And understanding which one you and your partner are can relieve these misunderstandings. So take some action steps like ask each other, what gets you in the mood? This might be something small, like having time to talk or help around the house before intimacy. Also, another one would be experiment with non-sexual touch or quality time and see if it awakens desire for the partner with that responsive desire. Fifth, consider scheduled intimacy. Scheduling your intimacy removes pressure for spontaneous sex, helping both partners relax and look forward to the time together. Dr. Patrick Carnes recommends seeing scheduled intimacy as a way to, quote, foster connection rather than obligation. So, some action steps around this. Try setting one day a week as a date night. Focus on each other without distractions. It doesn't have to lead to sex. Instead, let it be a time to connect, with intimacy as a possibility. Have a no pressure intimacy night. This night involves closeness, massages, cuddling, with no expectation of sex, creating safety for both partners. And then consider counseling. Read some good books. If the issue goes deeper than communication or libido, couples counseling provides a supportive environment for healing and understanding. Dr. Sue Johnson's emotional-focused therapy focuses on helping couples build emotional safety as a foundation for physical closeness. Resources like The 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work by John Gottman or Come As You Are by Emily Nagoski can offer valuable tools and perspectives, and also Sue Johnson's Hold Me Tight. So consider joint counseling. If the topic around sex creates ongoing tension, a counselor may be able to help navigate deeper emotional aspects. And then, get a book, read a chapter weekly, discussing insights with each other. Guys, mismatched sex drives, though common, can be really challenging. And it provides an opportunity to deepen your understanding of each other. As Dr. Brene Brown says, staying vulnerable is a risk we have to take if we want to experience connection. Being open and compassionate, even when things aren't perfectly aligned, brings intimacy to new levels. The goal isn't to be perfectly matched, but to walk through life's changes with empathy and respect. Differences in sex drive are just another invitation to learn how to love each other better. So don't be discouraged. Be patient with yourselves and keep talking. Hey, thank you for listening to today's episode of The Tyranny of Hope. If this episode has resonated with you, or if you have any questions, please reach out. Also rate and follow if you don't mind. And guys, be gentle with yourself and others. Everyone's doing the best they can.